The New York Knicks defense has been awkwardly bad, and Tom Thibodeau is under fire by fans as the New York Knicks seemingly cannot really get a grip on their defense so far this season, and we have to break this down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and please subscribe to the channel. It really does help us out a lot. We're doing our best to make a ton of content. We have like an Instagram page coming, a Twitter page. We have a lot of good stuff coming, so you guys want to make sure to join in. Also, leave a comment down below what you think on the Knicks defense so far. But let's jump into this, guys. The New York Knicks, their defense has been weird to start the season. I mean, the team, they acquired Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby in the span of 6 months to basically say, hey, we have the best on-ball defense in basketball, to add to Josh Hart and Deuce McBride, two other great defenders. And also, when he's healthy, Mitchell Robinson down low is one of the NBA's best defenders, too. So the Knicks should have a great defense, right? Well, not exactly thus far into the season. I understand it's only been 6 games, and the New York Knicks have a chance against the Atlanta Hawks to show what their defense is made of against a team where it feels obvious to kind of double-team Trae Young to a degree. But look, guys, let's take a breakdown of what Reddit had to say for the New York Knicks, as they broke down the fact that Mikal Bridges' defense, it's not been what Knicks fans have hoped for, as while Mikal hasn't been awful, he's been getting lit up by his primary assignments to start the season. Just looking at his defensive field goal percentage against primary matchups, Jason Tatum went 4 for 4 on him, Darius Garland went 6 for 6 on him, and Fred VanVleet went 5 for 8 on him. Though he did a great job on Tyrese Halliburton in general has been inconsistent this season. Now here's the kicker. Mikal Bridges' offense has been good for the New York Knicks. He's shooting 58% on corner threes. He's putting up 17 points per game with 3 rebounds and 3 assists. Shooting 38% from 3, so the fear that his shot is broken is completely gone. He's getting a steal and a half per game and almost 1 block per game. On the surface, it doesn't look like his defense has been bad, but when he's been guarding primary matchups, we've seen a weird lackluster next to the Bridges defense that we usually know and love. Now, Mikal Bridges is a very, very good player, and I do trust his defense is going to get better in time, because part of the thing was when he was on the Brooklyn Nets, he wasn't really there to play defense. He was there to be a scorer, which was not his role, and it did definitely lead to some weirdness for Mikal and the New York Knicks. Now, the problem is Mikal has to be a good defender. There is no room for Mikal to not be a good defender because the Knicks have Karl-Anthony Towns as their center. I understand a lot of people think that I am anti-Karl-Anthony Towns, and I am not. I was at first when the trade happened, and I've been open about that being true. But it grew on me. The fact the Knicks can run a 5-out has grown on me. I looked at Towns' recent play in Minnesota, and the defense looked better. But it looked better when he was a power forward and able to be hidden on defense and not exactly ever having to guard the rim. Now we're seeing Karl-Anthony Towns in positions where he has to guard the rim or a talented big man, like when he guarded Alperen Şengün and was getting absolutely torched. Now I understand Şengün's a very good offensive center, but Karl-Anthony Towns cannot be getting torched because Şengün's the reason that the Rockets were able to beat the Knicks. The Knicks have to be a better team than the Rockets. The Knicks are supposed to be an NBA Finals contender, not a team struggling against a play-in team in the Western Conference, and they might be a play-in team at best. So you're looking at this, and you definitely have to feel some sort of way. Now, obviously, Mitchell Robinson coming back means Karl-Anthony Towns will get to play a lot more power forward where he is better, and the Knicks won't have to rely on a mix of OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart to prevent anyone from getting to the rim. But players are going to get to the rim in the era of pacing in basketball, and it's going to be problematic, especially because Karl-Anthony Towns' defense has not been good at all. Now, the New York Knicks in general, here's where they stand. They do allow the 7th least points per game, but there's a problem with that because their defensive rating is 20th. So it's not like the defense is great. This is a matter of possessions because the New York Knicks are a team that plays slowly. The Knicks have the least amount of possessions per game. Everyone is sort of close, and then the Knicks have 4 less possessions per game than every other team. Then the second team after that in the Miami Heat, who are at 96, sorry, so 2 possessions, but still, that's a big jump to when you got multiple teams at 96, 97, 98, 99 possessions, teams getting well over 100 possessions in this era of basketball, but somehow, some way, the New York Knicks are playing very slow basketball, and clearly it has not worked in the Knicks' favor, as the Knicks, look, man, they're 3-3, and a lot of the Eastern Conference, as you can see below, is 3-3 or 3-4. I mean, 6th seed Chicago is 3-4, but it doesn't matter. The fact is, the New York Knicks are supposed to be title contenders, not 500. Now, here's the thing. They're a new team, and I do think the New York Knicks are going to get things together in the long run. I actually did predict before the season started that around the first 20 or so games into the season, I would not be shocked if the Knicks are 10-10 because they're a new group and they have to figure out how they play together. Julius Randle was with this team for a very long time, and when Julius Randle was here, you know, he was there for 5 years, so there was a consistency there. The problem is this. Karl-Anthony Towns cannot defend at the rim, and obviously Julius could neither. I'm not trying to compare the two. I just mean on the sense that Julius, you know, he was here with the Knicks. They all had chemistry. They all understood each other. They're just working out the kinks. It'll be fine. But not for Towns defensively. As you can see right here, the New York Knicks center play right now has zero defense at all. Jericho Sims seems lost out there, and Karl-Anthony Towns, I mean, as mentioned in this tweet, opponents are now 27 for 30 at the rim against Towns this season. It's hard to imagine how that's even possible. You could surrender 30 uncontested layups, and I'm not sure more than 27 of them would go in. Well, they are in the NBA, so, well, yes, they would. But here's the deal. That's atrocious. That's so much farther past bad. That's unimaginably terrible. We know Towns is not here for his defense, and it's fine that Karl-Anthony Towns is not the world's greatest defender. It's not the end of the world. It's the fact that Mikal Bridges has to have his back, and Mikal has not been as good of a defender as we've hoped so far. And again, he's working out the adjustment of being on a new team, going back to that defensive first role. And OG Anunoby's been great, and Josh Hart's been great at defense, and Deuce McBride's been great at defense. But the Knicks are going to have to figure something out here because Bridges has to be better at defense, and frankly, Towns has to be better also. I know he's not here for defense. I know he's here for offense, but it doesn't matter. You can't be letting players shoot 27 for 30 at the rim and just waiting in the wings until Mitchell Robinson returns to disrupt the whole offenses of other teams the way that Mitch does. We all know the Knicks are way better on the court when Mitchell Robinson is there playing, but Mitchell Robinson is someone who's injury prone, so it is tough to find him out there. I mean, he's not going to be here till middle January most likely, and that's obviously worrisome. But the deal is, you got to be good enough. I understand the playoffs is what matter, and that's why Mitch isn't playing it. The Knicks are waiting on Mitch so he can be back and fully healthy. But until then, Towns is going to be this team's starting center unless the Knicks want to go with the man himself, Ariel Hukporti. I love this play. We're going to run it back one more time because I love it. Ariel Hukporti has been nothing short of phenomenal for the Knicks in short minutes, especially as a rim protector, but also throwing down dunks, looking like an absolutely great talent. But Tom Thibodeau is going to need to figure out a way for this New York Knicks team to not struggle as much on defense. The Knicks do not have... They don't have a choice, frankly. You have to be a good defensive team. This needs to be a team that runs on defense, that translates their defense into offense, using one of the most dynamic offensive players in basketball, and Jalen Brunson, another one of the most dynamic offensive players in basketball, and Karl-Anthony Towns. That is how this team has to run. They are still a defense-first team. They just have great offense that makes them an NBA Finals contender. Mikal Bridges has to be better. It really falls more on Mikal because how well OG's looked. Mikal has to be better because we know Karl-Anthony Towns is not going to be much better defensively. He's going to be great offensively. We've seen it. We've seen how good he is. We've seen that he's an elite rebounder and that the reason his rebounds are going down was because of Rudy Gobert. But still, and frankly, I've liked what we've seen out of Karl-Anthony Towns so far this season, if I'm being honest, despite the lack of defense. This season, Towns is putting up 21 points per game with 12.5 rebounds and 2.5 assists. He's shooting 58% from three, guys. Now, only 21% of his shots are threes. I really want to see that go up, but that'll go up if the Knicks can get their possessions up. He's also shooting 52% from the field. The fouls will go down when he plays power forward, but look, it's the regular season. You just need to be good enough so you can have some form of home court advantage throughout the NBA playoffs to some degree. But the New York Knicks, they have to be better defensively. There isn't any ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's something they have to do. It's something I truly believe they will do. I honestly think this is one of these things that falls on the Knicks are still working everything out, and once they work this all out, I do still expect the Knicks to be one of the two top teams in the Eastern Conference. It just comes with time being a brand new team. Guys, let me know what you think down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Again, guys, subscribing really does help out the channel. It motivates Darielle and I to put out the great content you get, and in 2 days, you'll see us around here for happy hour talking with a special guest who we'll announce soon. We know who he is. It's just a matter of if he'll do this or go to his rec basketball league game that he has. And I doubt he's watching the video, but he might be. So if you are, hope you join. If not, it's okay. We'll see you soon. Guys, like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.